Danos tetas.
Alright, so there's been some controversy going on, like, as of lately. This past weekend, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Smash Mania, featuring MK Leo, Hurt, Gluttony, Luigi, MK Big Boss, all, like, a lot of the top players that are actually very hyped, by the way, went to. There was a controversy going on with the matchup between MK Big Boss and Crep Soleil. Obviously, MK Big Boss playing Rob, Crep Soleil playing Steve. And obviously a lot of people have comments about this, but I'm going to put my own, thing on this issue. So, the context is MK Big Boss and Crep Soleil were playing in top 16 winner's side. And it was a best of 5, so MK Big Boss needed one more to win since he was up 2-1 against Crep Soleil. And they were playing it out, and all of a sudden, this happens.
Back, but regardless, Crep Soleil still not actually really able to return. The land up and lands, takes that stock away, and that is unfortunate.
No, Crep Soleil with
that is on Crep Soleil's end.
Oh no.
Oh
That's
no.
unfortunate.
That is a tough time to make that happen because. Right, we're gonna get the TOs on this because. Yeah, that's a tricky position because there are rulings in place that generally if these things happen, it does result in a stock loss, which at this point would be a game loss.
So, what happened there is that Crep Soleil's controller disconnected as soon as he died. As soon as he died, his controller disconnects, and the TO goes up to, I think it's the TO, goes up to MK Big Boss and asks if he wants to take the stock. And this is Crep Soleil's last stock of the set. So if MK Big Boss says that he wants to take the stock, that's the end of the set. Crep Soleil lost that set because of a controller disconnect.
Yeah,
Crep
for
Soleil
Crep
and the
Soleil.
set.
And then you can see right here,
Right.
he says yes, he wants to take the stock.
The TO's on the stage right now, folks. We're gonna wait to find out what's going on.
There is a hard decision to take.
Yeah,
I think this is a tough situation.
This is the thing. MK Big Boss is a competitor at the end of the day. This is, he is one stock away from top 8.
Yeah.
Oh, the dejection on Crep Soleil's face.
To take the game, I think he's well within the right to do so. But
Oh,
and
no.
I think
No.
and Big Boss is going to say that he wants to take the stock. And
Oh!
yeah, that's a frustrating way to end it. You cannot blame Big Boss.
He threw the switch as well?
We'll blame him because.
So, unfortunately for Crep Soleil, MK Big Boss did decide to take that stock to end the set, and that was for top 8. That set was for top 8. So they were playing that set for top 8. Crep Soleil had a really good chance of being able to take the game 5 and maybe even make top 8. They were up a stock against MK Big Boss, who had like around 40% done to them, and knowing Steve, Steve can end stocks pretty easily. But unfortunately, the controller disconnected, a GameCube controller nonetheless disconnected, and just ruined Crep Soleil's chances on being able to even take it to a game 5 to make top 8. And then MK Big Boss lost to Hurt and immediately lost to Luigi. And Crep Soleil actually made a decent run, making it all the way to 4th place, beating Siski, Gluttony, and losing to Luigi in game 5. And then Hurt ended up winning the entire event. So, the issue here is, the main issue is that the TO put it on the player if they wanted to take the stock, which I think is a very, very stupid decision. It should always be on the TOs to take the stock. Like, no matter what. It should always be on the TOs to decide it. But I was looking at Twitter, and I saw something that actually made me realize something. And it was this tweet from Fox. Went back and watched the VOD for this. Crep's controller disconnected right after he died off the top left zone, as we saw. They don't have the full rules up, but usually pause rules exclude pauses when the player who disconnects them isn't in play, the Angel platform, and this falls under that. So Crep shouldn't have lost the game for it. Also, I thought we stopped asking players about taking the stock not years ago. Puts players in an unfair position. Decision is always supposed to come from the TO. So, Fox is right. Because it should always be on the TOs if a stock should be taken or not. And just let them take the flame instead of putting that players in a very uncomfortable position. But they brought up a really good point. I'm going to pull up the Genesis X2 rules because this is pretty much the general rules for like pretty much across all Ultimate tournaments. So, obviously the recommend controller of choice is a wired game controller, yada yada yada. But, here's the rule. On controller interference. If your controller is found to be the cause of disruption to the tournament, mid-game, or otherwise, you are subject to complete disqualification from the event. Bluetooth controllers must desync from stations or go to designated desync station at the TO desk after each match to avoid interference. But here's the thing. If we scroll all the way up here, it should pretty much fall under the same rule as pausing. Because obviously, a controller disconnect results in a pause. It should also fall under the same rule as pausing. Here it says, pausing setting is to be set off. However, if it is not, pausing is only legal while either player remains upon their own respawn platform, and only for the purpose of summoning a tournament official, or in the case of a controller malfunction. You see, it is part of the pausing rule. All other pauses will incur in a stock loss to the player who pauses the game. If the pause causes the opponent to lose their last stock, the pausing player receives a game loss. This rule also applies to controllers, which cause the game to revert to the Switch home screen. The issue is here, even though Crêpe Soleil had just died, that's them having died. And therefore, they're immediately going to respawn on an Angel platform. So, they should have been fine.
Okay.
And MK Big Boss made it back on stage. So there was no disruption to if MK Big Boss could recover or not. But, again, the rules state that if you are on your own respawn platform, it is okay for you to pause to summon a tournament official or if the controllers cause a malfunction. So, there should have never been, like, the ruling to take a stock there because Crêpe Soleil, they should have been fine after that. But unfortunately, it was put on to MK Big Boss if they wanted to take the stock or not, and he said yes because obviously he wanted to make top 8, which obviously, at the end of the day, he's a competitor. He plays to win. But very unfortunate for Crêpe Soleil. There was a situation, actually, at King Khan.
Lo está leyendo muy bien.
Es que es lo que has comentado tú, ¿no? Es un buen move, pero también es muy arriesgado, ¿no?
Raflo's controller disconnects.
Buah, se la ha
And
cargado.
obviously, MK Leo's not happy about that.
A ver si Leo tiene honor. Sigue, sí.
MK Leo said that he doesn't have to take the stock,
El árbitro que le den, que se pongan de acuerdo allí.
Yo creo que le da bastante igual.
but they're waiting for TOs.
It wasn't a fortunate.
Okay, so at first, MK Leo was saying that he doesn't have to take the stock, but a TO comes in to enforce the rules
Unfortunate.
and tells Raflo that he has to take the stock.
I imagine Leo's.
Obviously, the TO is not happy about that, but
No, unfortunately, this is a TO decision.
that's one of the best decisions I've seen a tournament do.
Okay, we're just gonna.
But you know what? I completely respect that because it was the TO, at the end of the day, it was the tournament organizer, the one who should have to enforce the rules for Raflo to take the stock. It should never be on the player. So that was honestly that was a good thing. A very unfortunate situation all around. Even the TO was unhappy with it, but they had to enforce the rule, and the TO did step in to enforce the rule. So I very much respect that. That's what every tournament needs to be doing. Lesson of the day: don't put players in the position to enforce the rule or not. It should always be up to the TO, even though if it sucks. The TO should always pay attention to the rules and enforce the rules themselves, never the player. And I think it's pretty obvious that since Crêpe Soleil, what's the word I'm looking for? no discrimination, I guess. No discrimination. It was pretty obvious that MK Bug Boss was going to say, oh yeah, take the stock, because Crêpe Soleil plays Steve, and obviously a lot of people don't like Steve and whatnot. And there was also like just a lot of controversy here, like, you know, the Steve tax, bitch ass had it coming playing Steve. Yeah, a lot of people obviously think it's justified because Crêpe Soleil plays Steve, but obviously I don't want to be that person. It's pretty obvious that Big Boss is going to say yes, take the stock, because he doesn't want to deal with Steve. So yeah, next time let's have every single major have TOs enforce the rule if that happens.